Where am I?
Hello, you're with the streamers.
Hello.
Hello. So, Reichspakt, how do you think things went?
First of all, we haven't capitulated, so we still have chances of coming back. We cast out Austria.
Oh wait, did Italy
because-
score? I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
The wrong
Go
game. Don't advertise other games.
A football's a game, of course.
Yeah, shh. Spoilers.
No spoiler.
Sorry, chat. Sorry, carry on.
Oh yeah, I think overall it was a very fun game. Definitely unique. With first of
Speak
all,
for yourself, please.
not the Kaiserreich, not playing much Kaiserreich, but with the third international basically collapsing at the early game. It set up for a very interesting scenario where we were the bad boy of the entire game. So both the factions went against us.
To be like completely clear, we had a smaller industry than both the factions, yet they still decided to,
Stop whining.
No.
But it looks like the Entente came out on top of that struggle against us. But I think we held on very well for the
No
fact
one
that we fought
did
our,
that.
we did very interesting moves in divisions.
So,
And
what were the highlights for you guys? What do you think went well?
we took back Sweden and saved our ally.
Yep.
Killing
Sweden was
France, of
pretty
course,
fun.
was a big poggers.
To be honest, the Russian campaign was pretty fun till D-Day happened.
Yeah, that was a
Yeah.
really well-timed attack by the Entente, because they took down Britain in record time. Something which I was expecting them to do like a year previously. And then they immediately
we
just
did too.
dropped those Marines from there and just hit you in Normandy.
Yeah.
We
expected
kinda
it.
saw it coming, but
We 100%, but there's nothing we could do about it.
without wanting to question their tactical decisions too much, I think the Copro might have cost their lot in on the wrong side, because I think they, like, going in on us, I don't think they're gonna get that much out of it, and my guess is they're gonna lose the game, but I mean, it's their choice
We all
to make.
know that the Entente has won the game. The Copro is going to lose.
Yeah, and I
Um,
mean,
And that's,
By-
that's how the game's going to
Up
go. And they
until
chose their
the-
side.
Up until the very end when they took Kiev, that was I think the first victory point that the Copo took for the entire session today.
Yeah.
So
Copro-
they weren't.
Copro
I
until the
think
break were on 2 points, as were the Third International, who had capitulated.
Yeah.
yeah.
Like we gave them Riga, we had like a ceasefire, and they asked for Riga. So yeah, sure, you can have Riga. So that's one VP we gave them, and the other one is a fucking what's it called, Singapore, and then they made a deal with the Entente to get Indonesia a part of
I
it.
mean, it's like fair enough, they make their tactical decisions. I'm not going to question it too much, but basically they put themselves in a position where the much stronger faction leads by points, and they enabled that. And I just
Bro,
don't really see
I
how
think
they're going to catch
The
up.
South
I feel like
Sudanese
the-
generals make better decisions than this.
I feel what? I feel like despite our land gains in Europe, the Entente was still the faction I think had the most pressure throughout the game of being in the leading position.
Yeah,
but
I
it is
would-
what it is. GG to everyone, honestly.
I was
the, the Entente are real veterans from previous games as well. There's a lot of names there I recognised. So the fact that they had things together in such a way doesn't surprise me. And I thought were going to be the most dangerous faction. Copro made a big mistake by just letting them be. Copro have been
Basically, yeah.
far too
Yeah.
passive, and I would agree with that.
The Copro were the ones who told us, there's a strong faction, and they kept
Yeah.
agreeing with us that they should be the ones who would die, and that they would have to, try and at least attack them. And they kept agreeing with us. We kept like making, okay, so then you attack them, and you can actually do something. They just never did anything.
And then they attacked us, so we counterattacked.
They
into
stood
Russia,
still for
but-
like a good 2 years, and then they did a counteroffensive when the Entente D-Day, and that was basically
No.
everything
It was
they
a-
did.
They attacked us before.
It was a good combination of the Copro letting the Entente do their thing, and obviously the Entente knowing what they're doing with the faction.
Yeah. I think that's fair to say. Really.
Because
My highlight was when the leader of Copro came to us when Berlin has fallen and asked how long are we supposed to stay alive. You know, a diplomatic game is actually a point where you come negotiating support for a nation that's already dead.
Yeah, they were at Berlin, and they were like, can you like turn around your army all the way to the Entente so that you can buy us time?
And we're like, yeah, no, you did the wrong decision. Now you're gonna pay for it. Now it's too late.
We've actually asked them so many times. We've given them so many opportunities to make the other divisions.
And we
they
helped
just
them with deals and trade deals.
We helped them. We actually let to Third International escaped from a lot of our encirclements purely so that they could fight the Entente.
We've been
Yeah, we
humanitarian.
let the Spanish boys go.
We've let the British evacuate out of fucking
We let the
But
France.
Dunkirk after they made it, yeah.
Dunkirk and Bordeaux. Then we let the Spanish evacuate out of Spain.
Those were
then
Spanish food trucks. We had to do it.
I think they even pulled out the Norwegian troops or something that
we
they
would
had
have been the
in
bad guys.
Norway. Like
We
we
would've-
let them out purposely so that they could at least stand a chance.
At the
I
end
guess.
of
Yeah,
it,
no.
I would say we did proud. We defeated syndicalism in this world, and we did what Germany is best at. We lost the World War.
Proud to be German, I guess.
Proud.
Beautiful.
You can't say that. You
No.
So who do you? So you firmly think that Entente's going to win from here then?
Oh,
Oh,
100%.
yeah.
I bet you
Yeah.
any amount.
100%.
The
If you look at
I'm surprised if the game lasts
the
longer
Entente
than
were already
5 minutes.
surprised that Russia has almost no score in the peace deal for what's about to happen. They can only take Ukraine, and basically all of Germany is under Entente occupation. And the Entente has stronger
And
tanks. So
I would say even if the
I
Entente
definitely
deleted
think
all of their
they can't
equipment that
do
they have right now,
Mhm.
and they give all of mainland Europe to the CoPro, the
They're still
Entente will
gonna
still
lose.
win the game.
Yeah, because I felt the Russian tanks, they can't pierce the Americans. They're just gonna
No,
get
the
dumped.
American tanks are
Oh, 100%.
terrifying.
And
I
they
was
can
watching
block-
what they were
Because-
doing
also because
against you.
Kaiserreich.
They
Yeah,
can
Kaiserreich.
even with heavy tank destroyers, we couldn't
Yeah.
pierce them. Like we definitely
give-
need.
You give
need
the US
stronger
the
stuff.
strongest industry in the entire world. They outproduce everyone combined, and
They
then
have
you
more fuel than
also
everyone
give them
else.
unpierceable tanks.
There was a point where
what do you expect from us?
before they started invading on D-Day, there was a point when Germany had 370 factories, and that was the amount of mills that the US had in total.
I must say,
Canada-
for the next DLC, one step back, I am excited about the piercing changes. So it's a scaling damage
is
rather
true.
than just 50%
Yeah, that would
more.
be so much nicer.
Because as it stands right now, like the
it's an all or nothing thing.
unpierceable buff is the strongest buff in the game. Like it halves the damage they take. It deals more. The tanks deal more damage. Like the change is needed to
Yeah, and it's an all or
soften the
nothing.
balance.
It's an all or nothing
Yeah.
ordeal right now. You could be like 0.1 piercing away from piercing them, and all of a sudden you're doing nothing.
We
Yeah.
already said to the admins earlier, we're really looking forward to playing with the DLC in the tournament next year.
Yes.
Honestly, though,
It's
gonna
going to
take
change things a lot. Like, I'm really excited about the width changes, the
Yeah.
supply changes, the piercing changes,
yeah.
Mhm.
That's actually
The railroads,
really
so
nice.
the supply changes. So just-
the advisor changes. Yeah, it's just so much.
mean-
It's like a complete overhaul almost.
I honestly
was
just hope
needed.
that I won't have to cry every second I see a different terrain type, and I have to modify all my units that go into it to have a
but it's
different
gonna be
combat
fun.
with. Oh, I'm in a mountain now? Shit, 16 combat with. Oh no, a forest, 22 combat with.
I don't think you so much need to modify your troops. You just
No.
build your standard template based on
Mhm.
where you expect to be fighting.
Yeah.
I know, but I was just, I don't know what they haven't released it. So I can't really say a lot.
So
It does look good though. Like,
Yeah,
The whole
I'm very
change.
excited.
Let's hope it will be out by the time next year.
I mean, it's also very moddable, you know? You could mod a lot of things in as the tanks, for example. You
Oh,
can
yeah, the
add
tank
all
designer,
these
yeah.
modifications for tanks.
Yeah.
You can literally add fucking
yeah, that's
nuke
actually
launchers
really
on
cool.
tanks.
With all the supply stuff, like we'll be interested to see what Kaiserreich does with that as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm looking forward to all of that.
I feel like you.
Kind of forgot about
Sorry.
that. No, go on.
Also, we thought when we declared on the Entente in Africa, we would be able to starve them out. And then we looked at, like, we looked at the Sahara.
So
Yeah.
close.
And
You were
they just
so
magically-
close.
No,
No,
they just
but-
No,
magically get.
we didn't try. Like
supply.
we didn't realize until later that they actually get the supply through the Sahara Desert. Which,
Yeah, we usually don't
Yeah.
play Kaiserreich, so we had no idea. We were like, why are these
I mean,
subs
it's
not doing
also a
anything?
recent addition, but they have
Yeah, it's
all their
France
supply through
rework.
the Sahara thingies. Otherwise, we would have been able to starve them out.
You should have seen our faces when we saw all those fucking trucks trucking through this literal Sahara.
They made cyberpunk railroads there. I swear to God,
The first Hyperloop in 1940.
Yeah.
through the Sahara.
I gotta say that France's motorized marines are probably my favourite thing that I've seen in this campaign so far. Except maybe for Ireland's tier 4 subs, those are also been beastly.
What? I made my special magical anti-tank divisions. What is this?
It didn't do. I mean, I'll be
Bulgaria's
honest,
anti-tank divisions were amazing.
Fair.
Don't
top
give
area
him
actually
don't
helped a
give
lot.
him don't give him
Don't give him credit, he's not about it.
go to
I-
that.
I was saying when you were caught down in Sinai and you tried to escape down the Red Sea and then America's submarines were just there, I was saying, yeah, the only way to actually kill them is at sea, and America's doing that right now.
He caught one of
actually,
my things.
that was one of the most exciting moments when
They
actually
got very
broke through
lucky.
to the Suez. Like
We would have
reinforced
held
beam,
that entire
yeah.
advance if he
Yeah.
didn't reinforce beam the tile above,
Mhm.
and he did, and
mean,
then he
it
broke
happened.
Suez, and that was our death. Like
Also,
those.
3 days, and I've encircled the entire American tank quarters currently trying to besiege Bulgaria. It's just like the Americans are. Now I'm gonna say the Entente is gonna lose because we're gonna kill their tanks. The last act of the game.
Oh yeah,
That's
see,
amazing.
niche is about to fall.
Yeah, because those Bulgarian things that were focused on like purely defensive.
Nobody realized.
And because I have general that has an extra plus 10 entrenchment, that I can get 70 entrenchment on. Because if you check the Bulgarian general, he has also ambusher, and he has all fucking terrain traits, adaptable, everything you can get on a general. He has.
Look at that planning he has.
Yeah,
The attack,
but he had,
the heavy tank general throws an attack of 10. He could have
Yeah,
11
I
because he's a
saw
field
that.
marshal. He didn't take that +1 attack, or he could have 11.
he has to be fucking really lucky to get that.
Mm-hmm.
But again, if I actually had my shit at the Suez Canal, I held 2 American heavy tanks with 1 mechanized division because they had so much entrenchment.
But in
And
the
you
end,
can't kill them.
it doesn't.
But then they
even
reinforced me to
matter.
the tile above.
The darkest hour has come. Like we're gonna capitulate, and the other 2 factions are still not at war in the middle of 1942.
That's true.
This game's gonna last until 44.
Honestly, I
I don't
agree that
think
they're.
this game will last to 43. I don't
There we go.
Yeah.
I kind of
Here is
agree
the last
with.
day of the Reichspakt.
I kind of agree with the whole thing that all the factions should be at war with each other in 1941.
There should be some cutoff time where the factions have to all be at war because else,
You get this.
yeah,
I
you
mean,
get
it's still
a situation
problematic
like that.
because
Because to a certain degree, there's nothing we could have changed about this outcome.
Yeah, that
You
was
can
one
say,
of the.
like-
I did kind of foresee this happening when they made India co-pro instead of Entente, because now there is literally no reason for those two to fight.
And even when
Yeah.
the only reason that there is for Indonesia, and they fucking split it for free, no war.
We could get 1 victory point in Australasia, but that's not really worth it. Like, Co-Pro is forced to take the victory points in Europe, which always puts them at odds with the Reichspakt. The Reichspakt always will be at war with the Third International, and the Entente only
I
has
mean,
to wait
not
and swoop
always.
in.
Yeah, the Entente can just wait the entire game and join the last hour, and
It wouldn't be half as bad if their tanks were that on fucking godly
yeah.
strong.
Also, that we could have.
We could have probably thrown that D-Day back into the sea.
Yeah, if they were
But, like,
actually
if you get
feasible,
the-
we
if
could
you
have probably actually
it didn't have a-
obtained D-Day.
Okay, the
For the east, we could have done, Death on the Vistula, for the east, and then we just put everything on the west.
I mean, West
tank-wise.
didn't help that we had the bug where I couldn't place any plane on French.
Yeah,
that was another big problem.
So that was also fucking. So the efficiency for the air war was actually pretty bad.
Yeah, during the Third International War, Britain had no oil for about 2 years. It was horrible. And just watching you guys just obliterating their air force was kind of hilarious.
Oil is, as well, a major problem for us as well,
That's-
and the Third International.
I don't even.
I think
wanna know how
refineries
many
should get
refineries
above,
I-
like they did before.
I mean,
Yeah,
eventually
both
it was fine with their production, but I don't even want to know how many I had to build. It
No,
was
no,
an
the Third International gets like no refinery
I
buff.
mean, he's been building refineries for the entire session.
Yeah, he's
so-
been building
Yeah.
refineries, and we are still
And it
like
was
just
not
really good on
Which
fuel.
is another reason our industry is a bit smaller compared to other factions. Yes.
I mean,
The
building
USA
plus
could have
two,
killed
US
us by
building
killing
stuff.
Iraq.
I
mean,
think that's
they
what they were
never-
trying to do.
Yeah, but
That's
they
why they
could've-
hit
they could've-
Syria.
I know, but they could have kept going. There was a tile below that was a desert, and they could have just rolled through it.
Yeah,
There
they
was
could have
nothing we
kept
could have
it.
done
Like
to stop
we were already
They
ready
stopped.
to concede the Middle East because they would have gotten through there. Also, now that the peace deal is finally happening, Russia has not very much score.
And the US has much, much better tanks, which are gonna dunk on them. But
Oh,
you know,
100%. I mean,
Part
your
of me
tanks
is
already
like,
dunking the
whatever.
Russians. What do you think the American tanks will do?
it's
Don't
like
worry,
Paris
guys.
had-
In last 1.5 hours of this game, the co-pros final plan that they've been hatching from the very beginning will come to
Taking
fruition
Ukraine.
and they'll defeat the Entente.
No, their
Having-
final plan is getting $150 from the fucking Entente and getting out.
Having
The
seen
game
how
has
much
been rigged
they
from the
struggled in Iran, I'm not hopeful.
Oh no, they're
Yeah.
not.
This is going to go one way. It is going to go that Entente is just gonna invade Japan. They're gonna capitulate them within 2 months, and then they're gonna be game. So,
They
yeah.
could just roll through Russia. There's nothing
Oh,
stopping
that's
them.
true. I mean, one goes through Russia, the other one goes through Japan, and that's
Yeah,
it.
what
I
I'm
don't
expecting
know.
is Brazilian infantry with American heavy tanks on the Russian front, and then French
Yeah.
naval invasions.
Yeah, pretty much.
I don't remember the exact amount, but I am fairly certain when we checked, Japan had like infantry in the single digits. So
Japan only
They have
ever
a
built
single
one
Marine
infantry
division.
unit.
That's it.
yeah, I mean it's a valiant effort, but
They
Ah,
were focusing on air, and then they lost half of the air fighting me. So
bro,
that's not
that
gonna
Marine
work.
division is literally just Kirito with all of his friends.
Jigsaw, you should watch more anime. Like the single protagonist will obviously win.
Why did we have plot armor? I don't get it. We're supposed to have plot armor.
We're the
Yet
bad
we died.
guys, Yeet. We're German.
we let the
Germans
Spanish
never
food
have
rush
plot
this game.
armor.
Okay.
The Spanish War was a humanitarian.
Oh,
mission.
also
How were we the bad guys?
the Entente were the ones to actually capitulate Austria, so they get all of our air as well.
Oh,
Not like they needed it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
No,
it's
that's-
good
air.
they really don't. They have 18,000 planes. Each of your
Yeah.
factions at about 6.
The first
Yeah.
session was fun, and then
we
we
had 8,000.
realized-
We had 8,000, and I was able to keep it up, keep the yellow and green air for a bit. But then the tanks were not able to actually do anything, so it has collapsed anyway.
Also, by the way, I would like to say I told you so. I said we should have gone for defensive. We should have never done any offensive plans.
No, we would have lost.
We lost the game.
would have
No,
lost.
no,
We
no.
would have the
no,
same.
would've
We
won,
would have the
would've won,
same. What are you
would've won.
talking
I mean,
about?
they took Britain and they came to France. They would have done that if we defended either way.
No, we could have had tanks on the ports. It doesn't matter.
That
We would have
don't
won.
pierce.
100%.
I mean, it could have been different if our original sea line worked as well, but
Yeah, that was a close call.
We blame our
Sad that
sixth
it didn't
member
work,
who isn't
but-
here for not researching super heavy tank
Yeah,
destroyers. Shout out to KFCs.
Yeah, I told KFC to research them, and he was like, "No, I don't have research slots."
Entirely his fault. And we didn't
And then a
know
year
that
later, we realized,
he
might
did
have
all of
actually
the
been
things.
handy if you actually did do them, because now we're fucked.
I don't know. People kept saying heavy tank destroyers is enough, but it apparently wasn't.
I never said that. I've been telling you
No,
from
no,
the
no,
start
but
on
other
YouTube heavy
people-
tank destroyers.
Other people told me, and I was like, I guess.
dude, they were obviously setting you up for a loss.
It almost feels like it
Obviously,
in hindsight.
this entire server has been paid by this Entente. What do
I
you?
was scammed. They asked me. I gave them 1 Bitcoin for that tip, and it didn't even work.
Wait, 1 Bitcoin? What? That's a lot.
That Bitcoin is quite a lot, man.
No, I'm just fucking around. I don't have 50 grand.
No shit.
You sure?
No fucking shit.
I would have to relieve more men in shady rooms than the invention of the light bulb to get that much money.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Anyway,
Oh, come on, that one is good.
I should probably get back to the commentating on what's actually happening in this piece deal.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But thank you very much for hanging out and giving us such a good game. Like, we really thought that Reichspakt were on the up and up, and then the Entente happened. Or rather, the fall of Britain happened.
Oh
realized
no, we
at the
we
end of
thought
last
we were
session.
losing. Yeah, we
Yeah,
thought.
we realized at the end of last session that
We're
this was not
fucked.
going to be winnable.
Yeah, but we tried. You know, that's all a man can
I
do.
think we give it our best effort.
I mean, winnable.
No, we
Yeah,
didn't.
is
I
not
gave you a
the-
better strat. You just didn't do it.
You guys just leave. We want to have leave the guy to commentate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks
Yeah.
again, everyone.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Okay, so that was the Reichspakt. And we have the peace deal going on. Golden Bits is asking, how do peace treaties work? Basically, you generate score as you are playing, mostly based on casualties inflicted, bombing damage done, and occupations, and then you can cash in that score for territory during the peace deal. Different territories cost different amounts depending on resources, factories, infrastructure, how built it up it is, and then of course depending on whether you actually occupy it. So all of this stuff that's occupied by America during their term is really cheap. You can see the score up there and where it's currently 0, whereas all the stuff which the Russians had taken would be much more expensive. Plus we are playing with a rule where if you didn't take it, you can't take it. So the bits that Russia occupy, only Russia can actually take in this peace deal, but that is not in vanilla. In fact, you can see here, so all of Bulgaria, really expensive, because that was all taken by the Russians, whereas... phone's going. Shh. Whereas Germany was taken mostly by the Americans, so it's a lot cheaper. And I am very, very curious to see how things go from here. One, how's the score gonna look after this? And then two, of course, how exactly the Entente mean to go after CoPro? Because CoPro is still flipping massive. They are the entirety of Asia. And they do still have a lot of manpower with a lot of guns and a lot of divisions. Whereas the Entente's problem is that big, broad fronts is not good for them. They want things narrow, they want things concentrated, because that's where their heavy tanks are going to excel. So it's going to be interesting to see how this goes. Because they are still going to have to... I don't know if they'll have to justify on each other. They may well already have a CB and they can just declare, I don't know. We'll see. So we still got Finland, Sweden, Denmark, Bulgaria to go, and I think Finland's going to go to Russia. I don't know about Sweden. Here we have Russia taking out Bulgaria. So yeah, the front line's going to be like this, probably. And that is a pretty wide front for the Americans to hold. Because we did already see that they don't have that many infantry divisions. So holding land is going to be a challenge for them. Whereas the co-pro nations have been doing that from the start. The problem that the co-pro is going to have is they're going to really struggle to push out. Because their tanks are just nowhere near as good as the American ones. In this instance, they probably are better than the German ones were. But bearing in mind that the German ones were beating the Russian tanks when they went head to head, it's going to be a challenge. It's going to be a real challenge. Oh wow, Sardinia gained a lot. Sardinia gained an awful lot. Go Sardinia! Sardinia Piedmont is indeed back. So these are the allies taking out Iberia, which also means they now have access into the Mediterranean. I mean, they already did via Suez, but they now also have it via Gibraltar. And if Russia is going to take this southern area, then that could well be leaving themselves open to French naval invasions. Although the gains from that would be relatively limited. Do I have any videos of Britannia with multiplayer? No. I think I only did it single player. I think there was a very, very abortive game with Bundeswehr Bob, but I don't think they ever got uploaded. It lasted like one session. So just single player. But if you wanted to do multiplayer co-op, then playing as the two Viking factions could be interesting. So you have somebody playing as Guthrum in East Anglia, and then somebody else playing as Sudrea, which is up in Scotland. Or you could play as the two Celtic Gaelic factions, one being the Scot and one being the Irish. Or you could even do Sudrea and Dublin. So Scottish Vikings and Irish Vikings. There are a couple of different combinations that could be interesting co-op. The only one that you can't really co-op would be Wales. Wales are a bit isolationist. I mean, I guess you could do like Wales and Ireland. I don't think there'd be much overlap. But I have to say, even after the defeat, the Reichspack team there also in really high spirits. So it sounds like we had a really good set of players for this. And it's actually been a remarkably amicable game. One of the problems these multiplayer games often suffer from is just people getting salty. to put it politely. Canada's taking out Greenland. And also... oh no, that's America taking more of Bulgaria. And then it's just Finland to go, I believe. Oh no, we still got the Middle East, Hejaz. Which, pretty sure is going to be American. Finland, Norway, that's probably going to go to the US. There goes Finland. So Finland is indeed going to Russia, as is northern Sweden. So that's going to be another front line up there. Through the mountains and through the forest. That's going to be a fun one. Golden Bits YouTube, thank you very much for the follow. Welcome to the channel. Great Bumbino, Nuffa, and Cadduel, thank you very much for the follows. Welcome to the channel. Canjul, sorry. Misread that. Medina and Mecca gone to the US. I really hope that this peace deal doesn't take longer than the war itself. That would be quite annoying. And are they updating the scores as we go here? No. Oh, yes they are. Man, the Entente's on 17? Reichspakt... no, they haven't yet. Yeah, Entente on 17 points, Third International on 2, Reichspakt on 7, Co-Prosperity on 4. As of now. That's probably going to change depending on what Russia takes exactly. Even Australasia got some stuff. Nice. Dear Mordred and Mordlings, everyone likes football I guess, but the standstill is... oh, scores. I'm not going to say that out loud, just in case people don't want to be spoiled. How's the game going on day 2? So far so good. 2 of the teams are out. We're down to just 2 left. We're just doing one of the peace deals now.